Hello, people. It's that time. Oh, yes. It's that time again. Alright. So, welcome everyone to my live stream. Welcome to the channel. My name's Danny C. Let's get down to business, shall we? I hope everyone's doing good, and I hope everyone's well. So, this is the most challenging race that we have come across to date in the Manufacturers' Cup. So, we are at round 4 for the Nürburgring 24-hour layout in the GT World Series Manufacturers' Cup. So, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm ready for the challenge. So I hope everyone's doing good. So we've got somebody who's just joined the chat. Mojo-san, welcome along, buddy. Thank you for the good luck message. Thank you for the good luck message. I hope you're well. Thanks for tuning in. So let's get straight to it then. So I have no idea what to expect at the Nürburgring 24-hour, considering that it is one of the most, if not the most challenging race. Well, there's no question, is there, with what's the most challenging track in the world or so. But the Nürburgring 24-hour layout, the most challenging racetrack across the globe, for sure. So last time out, having salvaged some of the points in terms of the Manufacturers' Cup. Obviously, you got but last time out when I was streaming, I was doing the Deep Forest race in the Manufacturers. So this is where I'm currently at the minute. So in terms of the friends rankings also, although 197, that's like just short of the 200 mark, having started 10th and then finished 10th on the road, but obviously got promoted to P9 because somebody failed to comply with the tyre type rule. So obviously only dropped down to one place. So that I'm not thinking of that too much because a lot can happen, I'm sure of that. As for the regional rankings, so 124th in the world. So good to see the numbers on where you're at, where I'm at, and so. As for the race itself, what's going to be happening is that there's going to be a 15-minute qualification session with the tyre wear rate set to ×2, along with the fuel consumption rating set to ×2. You do need to use the two tyre compounds as the racing mediums and racing softs. Failing to comply with that rule will end up with a penalty. So, furthermore details as well. Shock of penalty set to weak, mechanical damage set to light. So, yeah. Ghostlight, welcome along. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the good luck message. I hope you're well. So, we've got everything else just like spot on. But obviously, it's just the required type of it, which is all you need to do. But that, of course, I did do a practice race behind the scenes where I'd done 2 laps on the racing mediums and 3 laps on the soft. But then it depends on how you manage your tyres, which the fuel on the McLaren is not an issue because I could just go flat out then and over rev the car. So even though the tyres on that side is just depending on who you're racing with, whether you're going to be trying to do the undercut to then end up having to defend all you can, or even do the attacker towards the end of it if you feel you've got the physical and mental strength of it in order to cope with such force and so on. And well, you could do your best, mate. That's all I can do, as somebody once said. So a bit of practice before we get into the 5 o'clock slot. too wide there. Probably end up with a penalty for track limits. Not at this rate, because computer says no on that section, which left me with a bit of dirty tyres, of course. So just getting the feel of the track, not even trying to set a fast lap and burn myself out or anything daft like that. Just need to get into the groove with the car, the brake balance, the tyres. Furry, welcome along. Sorry I missed you, mate. I thought I thought it was the same person, but no, my apologies. So the race is starting. Get into the 5 o'clock slot. Obviously, once we get to 45, then I can enter the within the 15-minute window before we get into the 5 o'clock slot. So the race will start roughly 20 past 5 UK time. Yeah, that's the key, mate. Consistency is key, and if you can get the laps together and keep it on the track to as best as you can at your own pace, you'll be fine. Because there may be some that'll be racing for whether it's like for first place or for third place or 8th place at last, or the top 10, then it depends on how your qualifying is, but because qualifying is crucial. So you just got to hook up a very, very long lap best you can, even when it's pushing your physical and mental strength for the brain and body to the test, and have that risk-reward kind of attitude, then that's what gives you the upper hand also. As in to keep it clean, do you know what I mean? Just to be as clean as possible also, and be mindful of those around you, depending what camera perspective you're using. Sorry, just looking at the other screen. So it is 44 now. So I'll come off that and then be able to get a proper lap then, because that was just well, very much a half a lap for what I'd done there. So wait till we get to 45, and then Yeah, any moment now. Any moment now. So it is 45 now. And now we're accepting entries. And that's where we're going to properly get into the groove with the session. So there's a couple I know who's done the under 8-minute mark in separate cars, and then they say that well, obviously the M6, Audi, Lexus, Toyota, Ferrari's the one needs more. But it's everybody's preference really, because you're racing for a manufacturer and you want to get the best result possible, which is the objective. Just like in any race. Yeah, I've only had a chance to do a couple of quick laps when I had chance. I could go a little quicker if I can put it together, but obviously it's just like one of them things that where the race is another thing which I had to do for when I had chance to do the practice race well from behind the scenes on, so in order to be race ready. So have learned also that well the at the end of the simulation race that well just racing online should I say, therefore that I only had the 0.3 left, having put 0.2 fuel of work for laps in the tank, and without that I would have 0.1 left. So so fuel is not an issue with the McLaren. But the tyres, it's kind on the tyres, but then it's just depending on how you want to manage your strategy. Where if you do at the third lap of the softs, you're just going to have to hold on a bit to then try and at such a high intensity just to get through the final phases of the race, and then of course get to a point where you can put it together and so. Yeah, this is the thing that it's what makes it a challenger for sure. You know, just getting through the curbs of when you've got plenty of fuel in the tank, which does add more weight to the car. But as the fuel levels go down, then you'll start to feel much more lighter and more better towards the end of the race, and therefore feel a bit more agile. So then, just like you get to just like in the Formula One example, you feel the exact you feel the exact what's the words moments of where you just go steady away from the start, and then obviously just go for it a bit if you feel the need to towards the end as the fuel load goes down, and the your physical and mental strength just kicks in, having done nearly 40 minutes in the GT3 race. Just a bit too wide there, but kept that out of the barrier somehow. Got dirty tyres though. Yes, that's where you start to feel the loss of grip after getting some grass on your tyres. Welcome along on Phase B. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, best wishes to you as well. For those who don't know on Face, he has a channel for those who like to go and look at his content on YouTube. I'm sure you won't mind as well. So I hope you're having a good day, whatever you've been up to, mate. Yeah, not quite the quickest laps, but this is just a warm-up, of course, to get to feel the full layout. So I'm going to go for a quick toilet break, and I'll be back very shortly. So I'll be 2-6. And I'm back. Welcome along, Nicholas. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for the good luck messages to you as well. And best of luck to you if you are racing this one. I hope you're well. So, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment all of my life. Oh Lord, can you feel it coming in the air tonight? Oh Lord, oh Lord. Let's get down to business and do the talking on the track. In fact, do the driving on the track. Let's do this. Let's do this. So, good luck to those who are taking part in round 4 of the World Series Manufacturers Cup race. And don't worry about if you had a bad result, because another opportunity will come later on. So, let's see who we got in the lobby. Oh. So we've got Val, Auto, Mario, Sonic. Races in Cuba, Alonso, Dustin. We've got Dustin in there. So how many points do you get? So there's 305 points for the win, and then anywhere the top 8 you get at least 216. As long as you increase your DR. Or maybe if you finish 9th, then you still get into the 200 mark. So that's easy said than done, innit? So get on the racing softs. Val's left, so that gives us another position, a free position. I'm not desperate to go out as of yet, so I can wait for a couple of minutes. So if I remember correctly, the continuation time is obviously, well, up to like 3 minutes max or something like that, so it's gotta be. So I've got Sonic, Mario, Sonic, Lion, Alonso, and myself in the pits. Lion's coming out. Welcome along, Kevin. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're well. Let's head out to the track for what is going to be a one-shot qualifying. So one person's left the lobby, which gave us a free spot, a free position to gain from the 16-player lobby. So I've not done this sort of type of qualifying with the tyre wear on, so it'd be interesting to see where the grip levels are. Although that you'll get a rough idea on what your lap time's like. So if I can get it to at least under 8 minute 10, then obviously that's still good. So we've got Alonso, who's tiptoeing the way around. So I'm catching up to some cars. Obviously, I caught up to Alonso and Mario Sonic. You wanna let me go, please? Oh, thank you. So Mario Sonic's disappeared off. And Mario Sonic 2 makes a move on Lion. So there'll be some people backing up for position. So I should be able to get to the line no problem, but it's just well, the continuation time. So probably be around another 3 minutes or so. So just getting the tyres warmed up. Let's go. For what is a one-shot quali. Let's do it. that a bit wide there. Another 10 minutes. Let's go. So I can see a couple of more people on the straight. Feels like I caught up to some. It's not bad. It's not bad. Considering that I'm the only McLaren in there, so they said that we're going to be in the under 8-minute 10, so I'm going to go for a quick toilet break whilst obviously Kuba's holding up, so it does give us a chance to go for a quick toilet break and then be back in 2 seconds. And I'm back. So what's happened there is that for what I had a quick glance on the chat that Kuba's felt like he'd been impeded by the panic potato, the South African, and the South African went on to qualify third in the Audi. So that's what's holding him up, because Kuba spawned back into the pits, had to calm down for a moment, and yeah, apologies for the delay. Right. Marty! Welcome along. Thanks for tuning in. Just getting the focus in, that's all. Thanks for tuning in and hope you're well, my friend. So, holy tyre wear as somebody mentioned, so I'm going to go with the mediums. So it's just depending on how you want to take on the situation. So this is what's going to be an interesting race, going through the phases. So have a good race and best of luck, and we take on the Nürburgring 24-hour layout. Let's play the music. Let's get down to business and do the talking on the track. Let's do it for McLaren. Let's go. So obviously there's going to be some cars that'll be greedy on fuel and some that won't. So I have no idea what tyres everybody else is going to be on. So you just got to go with the flow as you go along. So what number am I? Let's have a look. Number 16. Let's do this. Almost run into the back of somebody, but long way to go. Cold tyres and brakes. So we've got the BMW with a half-second penalty. And the Ford's just about to get past the BMW. Rightly so. Got Kuba behind as well from 15 for last. BMW's feeling the pressure. See what pace you got, Kuba. Kuba's quick. And I got Alonso on my right. Kuba's took the opportunity. Adi kicking up the grass there, as he has been doing. BMW's gone a bit wide there. Got much closer now. Get that bit of slip. Knew they'd do that. But that 10th place is going to me for the moment. So we've got somebody in the Ferrari chasing down. And that is Lion, I believe. That was a very early pit stop from Kuba. Started on the softs. Got a BMW right up my rear bumper. Thank you. Didn't ask for the bump draft. So I've got the BMW behind me who's going to overtake me anyway because of how quick it is on the straight line, not only without the slip but with the slip. You watch. Look at him, he's gaining. He's gaining. Oh, I didn't ask for a bumper draft, but thank you very much. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Hard on the brakes. Interesting. Looks like everybody else is going out to, well, to stay out for another lap. Okay, we'll just get on with it. So we've got 8th and 7th up ahead, and then further up is the 6th, 5th and 4th, 3rd maybe. So it's better to be safe than sorry to go 3 laps on mediums and 2 on the softs towards the end. I bet there's enough people out there that's feeling the mental strength kicking in. Mental strength. So the Polish drivers seem to be struggling a bit, but we'll see as we go along. Not at this rate, because the Porsche is within the slip of the Ford up front. Try to get a bit more rotation, dropping it down to first. Oh, the BMW almost lost it. Very snappy, that BMW, out of the slow corners. Might have got into the slip of the Polish driver in the Porsche just up front. There we go. I can feel it. I can feel the slipstream coming into effect a bit. Oh dear, oh dear. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Oh, the Ford has crashed. Just saw the crash up front. That's where the mistakes are starting to creep in. Started creeping for some people. Welcome along, Alex. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate the good luck message. Hope you're well. And for those who have just joined, I've started 9th. So I'm slowly making my way up the field, bit by car. Thought I was going to take off for a moment there. I am within the slip. Yes, it's you got to use a different tyre compound, mate. So we're just coming in at the end of this lap like most people. So I've started on the mediums and I'm gonna go to some sticky soft tyres. Oh, wasn't sure if there was a lag spike onto the barrier there for the Ford. Let's go. Everybody's in. What's the fuel like? Marginal. Want to get it to 2.1, but 2.2. And you know what time it is? It's Danny C time. Let's do the driving on the track. Get those sticky soft tyres switched on. Mario Sonic feeling the grip going away just a bit, or just a driver error? And we're just hunting down Mario Sonic for the moment. Felt I got a bit deep there. Kept it on the track somehow. So we've got 9th, 8th and 7th up ahead. There's a lag spike kicking in. Please don't tell me this is me. Oh, thank goodness. Thought we were going to be kicked out for a moment. Oh, almost. A bit too much on the grass. Yellow flag, something's happened. Got Kuba out on the very old tyres. Almost just felt a snap there. Get past Mario Sonic there. Maybe. It was brave. It was clinical. It was brilliant. Excelled war under pressure. Them two haven't got a prayer with worn tyres behind us. So, 7th place is the best I could do. Let's see. We're on the last lap now. So going through the 1 bar phrase a couple of occasions in this race. The Ford's made a mistake. Going to be an interesting battle for 7th all the way to the end. I sort of noticed the Italian making mistakes. Oh! I said they were going to make mistakes, and this has certainly proved to be one of them. And he's got dirty tyres now, so I just need to get away ASAP. And that's a tactical move, you know. Over a second ahead of my opponent, so I'm dusted in 6th. This is going to be tight, although he's a second ahead, or second behind, sorry. Oh, don't do anything stupid, please. Well, I should be fine, but it's all going to be down to the braking point, the final brake, heavy braking point. We made it. We made it. Thanks, Matty. Wasn't the easiest kind of races, but we made it. We made it to the end. Strategy was on point, just like rest of us up front. So we'll take home the points. "41 minutes and 2 seconds. That's how long the race took, and then obviously that took me 41 minutes and 30 seconds. Because these are up front are just purely fast, really, really fast. So grab the replays if you want them. So obviously we both get the driver rating improved. So we're just gonna say well done to Dustin. This car and the castle. So how many points do we get for the 7th? 229, so more than 200 points. So considering that to how much of a tough lobby it is, other than that, yeah, it's 3 softs is not a good idea. Well, this is what I mean. It's because I tried out the two laps on the mediums and 3 on the softs. Not a good idea for some, considering if you were to make the tires last, or if you got good tire management or so. But then to do it in a very long racetrack like the Nürburgring 24 hours, it's not easy to keep the consistency and the lines together, as well as that while going through at such pace. So just want to spare a moment to say thanks for the race. Let's play again sometime. So Sam got a podium, Racer in second, Frank Beeler fan in first. Yeah, I got the replay already saved. So let's have a look at what happened in other parts of the track. So I just want to look at, it was braking just after, so the BMW driver was braking just after the 100-meter board. And I was very close to rear-ending him, of course. Luckily, I had to avoid hitting the back of the BMW, which gifted the position to the Italian in the Ford. Oh, I heard there was some contact behind, I'm not sure what was going off. Yeah, the Iceman obviously had to... I've gone very desperate there. Plowing into a pile of cars, and then, yeah, had to give way. Which is fair enough, that's good sportsmanship. Because obviously he was very desperate to sending it into the turn 1 and then coming in like a bull. Or a 1,000 brake horsepower turbocharged intercooler Bison, as I call some. So I just want to see, unless somebody comes into the chat and shares their perspective on a certain corner and lap. Well, we will see. So I had Alonso on my right in the Aston. And we were just gaining and gaining in the slip, which is pretty effective. And then you also got the dirty tyres to bear in mind also, as well as that. And look at what that person is doing. Like, fair enough that you want to minimise the damage that of the penalty you was given out by literally grass hopping, of course, playing the system up as you do. So I just got back to 10th at that point, and then Kuba obviously came in there for some new tyres. Having started on the softs, they've gone straight into the mediums. Just want to see, because most of the time there's not really been much action other than just towards the end, I feel. So you see this person who you thought for a moment was going to go for the overtake, but no. just gives me a bump draft. I didn't ask for anything, but thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We keep moving. As you can see, the sparks flying from my car. That we just want to crack on with the task in hand. Because what that does also is that even if you do too much bump drafting, also that you're more likely to going to get the bumper damage, whether it's on the front or in the rear, and could possibly end up losing your SR as a result of it in the sport daily race, or even the GT World Series race, whether it's the manufacturers or the nations. So I just went. So this is where the Porsche went off. So the Porsche went off by literally got a bit too quick, I would assume. Just look at the throttle input. So the driver lifted, picked up the throttle mid-corner in the apex, clashed with the wall. And Donald nearly ran into the back of the Porsche, having just to slow down a little touch, but still managed to get the job done. So it was just a slight kiss of curb on the Porsche on the fast left-hander, which may have put the driver off a little bit and led to going off the track and into the barrier. And then you see how slippery that Ford is on the straight line, as well as through the smooth surface corners, but not every corner is smooth. So that's what happened. So the Italian lost it, having gone too wide onto the grass, slipping into the barrier, which left him right rear damage and right rear bumper damage. And I was catching up to the Italian as close as possible. And you see this guy again had to take another second penalty by minimising it by going off the grass. Very clever of that person. So you can see the top six, the Italian, myself, Donald, Alonso. The top 11 all came into the pits, having started on the mediums and then gone on to the softs, and some had to wait a little longer for fuel. And obviously I did a little bit just for good measure, if I get into a slipstream effect, and then obviously burn off more fuel. So, which, even if it's the 0.2, like, it don't make much difference, do you know what I mean? Even if it gets towards the end of the race, then that's where you start to realise that you're literally pushing yourself through the paces. And when it came to the mental phrase, then, and that's where you start to mentally feel a bit tired, but depends how your body copes with such forces and so on. So let's see what Mario Sonic was on. So Mario Sonic was on 2-lap all tyres. Kuba on 2-lap all tyres. So this is the third lap, having gone into the racing mediums, which obviously that's not really proving to be the point. Starting on the softs and finish on the racing mediums, and obviously. So there was a bit of bump drafting going off, but then just to try and give Mario Sonic a bit of a helping hand whilst trying to catch up with Kuba, whereas Kuba was just like wicked, even in it with Jordan also. That's his name, innit? Even with Mario Sonic, that it's just a matter of holding on to the racing soft tyres on the third lap towards the end, which is a difficult bit for sure. So yellow flag, so something must have happened and couldn't quite work out what happened then. Ah, so Panic Potato from South Africa just lost it on the banking. So the South African has panicked. So the Potato Man has panicked. So around on this section, getting closer and closer and closer. So this is the setup of getting a couple of overtakes done and dusted, right when it mattered. So I'm on the same strategy as this person, as we both pitted in the same lap at the end of lap 3. And I follow the Italian in the Ford, in my McLaren. We just got past Mario Sonic also. And then Kuba sees us two gaining, gave the Italian a bit of a bump draft to give it the upper hand. And that's what you call teamwork. A great sportsmanship also. And that's what makes the difference in those races. So we're getting to the last lap as well. And then we've got Mario Sonic looking on the inside, trying to stick it around the outside. Maybe over the white lines, but Nürburgring don't care. So let's see what the tyre conditions are like for everybody else. So Dustin had a bit more fuel. The Audi not so much. So just when you thought the mistakes were starting to creep in, this is certainly one of them, off the racing line, which gave me the fuel temps I needed to get within striking distance of the Ford. And then try and get near the Italian as much as possible, try and put him off or something. And I brake to where I needed to brake it so I can get some momentum out of that corner, stay within striking distance also. Even I was on the purple, and so too was the Ford. Picking up a bit of dust there. Just had to lift off first so I could get myself set and ready to swing it around the left-hander. Even I'd just like to see how did that person get the corner wrong, because he looked like the Italian gone wide. So it started off with a bit of kicking up the dust on the curb, that concrete curb on the right there. You felt it a little bit, lifted and then picked up the throttle one moment too soon, and I went, and I'm like, thank you very much and have a nice day. So that of course left the Ford driver with some rear bumper damage and the rear right corner damage, which were unfortunate. So from there on, that I just had to pull away. And when it came to the end of the lap, I knew it would take something for somebody like the Italian to try and close the gap to me as best as possible in order to get a good slipstream also off me, which of course I was thinking at the same time, was that on purpose? Just for that one position? So both of us were on similar condition tyres, and then I had slightly a little more fuel, and then I had to break the toe as much as I could. I didn't want to do anything too stupid, because otherwise if I weed too many times, then obviously that's going to that just messes things up, don't it? Like if you run into the back of somebody after somebody in front was weaving and they run into the back of them, you could end up going airborne, like you're going to airplane crash. So the two Germans have made it to 1-2. So I was going 167, the Ford driver going 177 with the slipstream, and I had to be one of the last of the brakes, but thankfully the Ford driver had to brake a little early, because you see my braking reference there that I mentioned before. In a GT3 car, I was just braking there. So as you can see, it's just that tree branch there. That's my braking reference. It's this tree branch here that's hanging over the catch fencing. That's my braking reference. So that's one of the things where if you can brake at that marker, whether you're using bumper cam or TV pod, roof cam or chase cam, then that's the sort of braking reference that I've been using, which is what led me to deal with the pressure, bring it home in one piece, and then we got the job done. So that was the replay of the race at the Nürburgring 24-hour layout. Enjoyed it no matter the outcome, and I'm sure you guys who have been watching have enjoyed it as well. So there we have it. Started 9th and finished 7th. I'll take home the points. So I just got to open these tickets. A 6-star roulette engine ticket. Oh, what do I get? A Ford Mustang GT engine, and we have got literally like worth note to these the 5k coins. Obviously essential enough for a set of sports soft tires or something like that. Right, and that is round 4 of the GT World Series Manufacturers Cup done and dusted at the Nürburgring 24-hour layout. So I hope you enjoyed the stream as well as I have. As from the racing perspective, it wasn't easy, but then we somehow found the groove, and then obviously got into the flow as we go along, which obviously those are like, we just set those 1 lap paces, even if it's just close to the 8-minute mark. It's just like, well, they're on another planet, aren't they? As for my side, I did what I needed to do, which was to finish higher than where I started, which is what I done. So I started P9, I finished P7th as a result, having pitted, being one of the 11 people, one of the 11 people to pit at the end of that 3, having started on the mediums, and then play it safer by going on the racing's soft tyres. So that's something for those who were to give you a heads up of what's to come also. So yeah, I'll take on the points. Next time I'll be live is on Monday for the 3rd round of the Renault Clio Cup Championship, and it's my championship to lose as it stands. So we're over at Brands Hatch, and the first race is at the Grand Prix layout, and the second race is in the Indy layout. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to make most out of whatever situation that you get into. And so So I'm not like expecting too much as from my side. I just need to take one race as it comes and be prepared for anything. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I've got to line up as well. As for Tuesday, I'm doing go-karts at 6:30 UK time on Tuesday for those who have got go-karts. So that's what I've got to line up also. And then for the rest of the time, it's the last remaining two races on the Manufacturers Cup as we going to Spa-Francorchamps on Wednesday for round 5, the penultimate round, and then we finish off at Watkins Glen for round 6. So anybody liking the content, smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate your support, I really do. So other than that, that's me done and dusted for the evening. And have a great evening, great afternoon, wherever you are, what are you up to? And from myself, Danny C, I'll catch you all on Monday. And take care all. Bye-bye.